much about riding the wave and momentum shifts. Do you believe it can happen on the defensive side of the ball with Mookie making that catch and then the double play to end the third?
Absolutely, Alanna. I think we've had a lot of great plays this year, but if you're talking about momentum shifts, that's the play of the year for me. The probability of catching that baseball, where Joe was at, the game score, potentially having to go to Trinan right there. So to get that double play right there, to make the play and then to get the call on the replay, for me, that was the play of the game. Yeah, it was a huge play.
How pleased are you with the way that the bullpen kind of bounced back from yesterday with Dustin May giving you just the 2 innings and the bullpen coming in and being able to keep it close?
It was, well, we've talked about it all year, the strength of the bullpen, and those guys, 2 men stepped up. And, Dustin stepped up for us many times over. So it was good to see everyone, hold their own tonight. That double play in Victor's inning was huge. The Justin to the Kike turn was a big play as well. Just really good to see Trinan giving us a couple innings, but being efficient, and they'll all be ready to go tomorrow.
Freddie Freeman continues to beat the shift, Dave, but Chris Taylor making a great play on that line drive down the grounder on the left side of the infield. Can you tell me kind of what's going on with Chris in terms of the ankle? And obviously it was okay if you let him stay in.
Yeah, he's going to get some tests tonight, and I didn't see the replay. I think he might have heard some pop, but he's as tough as they come. So he wanted to stay in the game, but I wanted him to get it treated. Trainers felt the same way. So day to day, we'll see how he comes in tomorrow.
And finally for me, Dave, with Corey Seager, is this the postseason that you were imagining and hoping to have with your all-star shortstop, knowing that if he was healthy, he could produce this way?
I think that's a lot of it, Alanna. He's healthy. He's been healthy. He's had a tremendous year. The experience that he's had in the postseason, all that stuff is lining up. And, for me right now, there's just no better player.
Thank you.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, I think we've asked you maybe 100 different times, what can Mookie do to, surpass expectations, or what else can he do? It seems like this catch was another thing. When you watch that, were you thinking like, wow, this guy just continues to deliver? What's that like?
I just thought that there was no way he was going to make that play. And so the defensive play, to make that play, and then he is kind of the straw that stirs us. The infield hit that he got us going. The 2-out extra base hit, the base hit to add on an extra run was huge. And you can just see when Mookie gets on base, our team just kind of follows.
And just what's it like seeing Will Smith come into his own? That display of emotion might have been the most emotion he's ever shown publicly.
It's one of my biggest joys to see young players have success, and especially guys, like a Corey Seager, a few years ago, and shows emotion. Will Smith this year, with that hit, you just don't see it from certain guys, and that's just not who they are. But that intensity, that fire, that passion is in there. And so for me to kind of see it come out, it's a lot of fun. And I mean, I'd like to say, I know there's going to be a lot bigger hits in that, but that was a big one.
And just seeing Kenley go through 93 a couple of times there, what did you see? What did you think of his performance?
That was one of the highlights for all of us, just to see the way he commanded the baseball, he attacked, and closed the game out. That was really good to see.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Is Taylor's injury to his ankle, or is there more to it?
It's the ankle. It's the ankle. So, so he's getting treatment on it. It's going to get some tests, I'm sure, tonight, tomorrow, and we'll see how he comes in.
And Smith's at bat before the home run. How typical is that of him being down 0-2 but not getting over aggressive or anything?
Very typical. Very typical. He's done it for us time and time again, and he was robbed of a hit yesterday in that same situation and took some close calls, got down the count, but still kind of stayed the course and waited for a pitch he could handle. And it was actually not a bad pitch, the heater down and in, and just put his A swing on it.
How much easier did your decision for the bullpen after Seager's second home run?
No, it was, I wouldn't say easier. I just think that, we have to understand that at that point in time, we still needed to win 3 games. And so as important as this game, is, there's still a cost, whether you extend Trinan even more or Gratterall even more or Kelly even more, whoever. So I think that our guys, to their credit, they all did their jobs tonight.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Jeff Passan. Go ahead.
Hi, Dave. I know it's just one outing, but between the bump in velocity and the swings and misses that Kenley generated, will you go him in the ninth in a close game?
Yeah, you know what, Jeff? I was really pleased, and I think that Kenley, we've all talked about, is he's been working through some delivery things, and so there was a softer landing a few days ago, and this one I wanted him to close this game out, and he came out, the velocity ticked up, he was staying above the belt and pitching at the top of the zone, which was really good, and he's one of the guys, with Trinan and Kenley are the guys that miss bats, so to kind of see what he did tonight was a big thing for the Dodgers.
Next question is from Tim Brown. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. You spent the last 24 hours thinking about a game you absolutely had to win. You're going to spend tonight and a good part of tomorrow in sort of the same spot. Where do you go to get your head out of it? Are you able to? Can you do something that where maybe 10 minutes later you look up and go, oh yeah, we got to go win this game?
Gosh, Tim, if there's something, maybe text me. I think that my mind is just, as all of us, you want to try to get that escape, but you're always thinking about it on the margins. If there's something you can do that might put a player, a coach, the team in a better spot to win tomorrow. I'm always talking to coaches, front office guys, and trying to get that edge. So outside of probably sleeping 5 or 6 hours, that might be it. I think that game tomorrow is going to come pretty quick.
You're not reading anything? There's nothing you're doing like that?
No, I do my devotionals, but that's about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next question's from Spencer. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, kind of building off your last answer, how have you seen the guys handle the kind of must-win scenario they had today and then, facing the prospect of more of that moving forward?
They did a great job. And I think that just seeing the looseness and guys having fun, preparing for the game. But when the game starts, it gets tense and the guys are focused. But some big hits and, Mookie's play, offensively, defensively, obviously the big homers tonight kind of ease some things. But, we do a good job of playing every pitch. But the win was huge, obviously.
Thank you.
Next question is from Jack Harris. Go ahead.
Dave, on top of all the other small things in that 6th inning, where did Max's walk, how crucial was that to what happened later in the inning?
I mean, there's just, yeah, that's a great point. There were just so many really good at-bats, and certainly that shows up in the box score, but you're talking about what it does to get the next man up. And to be quite honest, you can go back to last night in the at-bats we put on Will Smith, and to kind of see the stress, and so to go back to back, and he just wasn't as sharp. And so, yeah, that at-bat was huge, and he chased a fastball earlier in the game off Minter away 3-2. So for him to check off on essentially that same pitch to get our Will Smith up, yeah, it was a huge at-bat. Yep.
How much does having people back in the building add to those kind of tense moments like that?
It's so much better. It's so much better. I think you can pipe in as much music or sound and loud, make it as loud as you want, but real actual bodies, it was pretty cool. It's been awesome.
How much more confident do you think your lineup's going to be getting to see Fried a second time, taking what they saw from him earlier this week into tomorrow?
We'll be ready for him. It was 6 days ago, 5-6 days ago, whatever. We just saw him. So that familiarity, he's good. He's one of the best in the National League, but we'll be ready.
Next question is from Dave Waldstein. Go ahead.
Hi, Dave. I don't know how much you believe in coincidence or fate or whatever, but did you have a pretty good feeling when it was Will Smith going up against Will Smith?
I did. I'll always bet on our Will Smith.
Time for one more. Go ahead, Claudia.
Dave, as far as your defense, do you feel like you guys need to improve something else going forward?
As far as the defense, I'll tell you that double play JT made, I think Corey's been really good. Kike turned a big double play. Mookie's play out there was big. So honestly, Claudia, I think our defense, I like where we're at right now.
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, Dave, in a situation like this, how important is it to have veterans in the clubhouse, guys like Mookie and JT that can kind of settle things down and create that tone?
It's great because I think that as a young player, you're always looking to the veterans who've had experience, whether it's knowing when to get excited, when to calm, when to back off a little bit, and just to see guys like Justin come out with a big hit, break the ice a little bit, Mookie doing what he's doing. It just kind of leads the way for the young guys. And our veterans are just so welcoming and inclusive with the young guys. So guys like Will really have had a good runway and opportunities with our club.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.